We'll start seated in our chairs. Sit forward just a little bit. Knees in line with your hips, toes pointed forward. Just rest your hands. We'll take a moment to close our eyes. Just settle here and prepare for our practice. You can sway from side to side, forward and back until you find a nice balanced position for your torso. Take a couple of deep breaths in through the nose, out through the nose. Feel the sensation of breathing. Nice. On your next inhale, lift your shoulders up to your ears, glide them up. Exhale, release them back down. Just let it be a soft movement. Inhale, shoulders glide up. And exhale, release. Inhale to lift. And release. Exhale, keeping the eyes closed. We'll move into neck rotations. Inhale, sweep your chin around to the right. And exhale over to the left. Inhale, sweeping around to the right. And exhale left. Take a few more like this. Just follow your breath. You can go nice and slow. Starting to open through the neck. Good. Inhale, bring your head forward. Lift your chin. Gently look up, and exhale, drop your chin, close the throat. Inhale, chin lifts. Exhale, release. And the next time your chin is to your chest, we'll just let the head hang, gravity gently pulling the head towards the floor. Stretching from the base of the skull to the top of the shoulders. See if you can release a little more tension in the neck. And let's take it to some half circles when you're ready. So you'll roll one ear to your shoulder, press, and then over to the other side. As soon as you feel the line of tension on one side, go ahead and roll it over to the other. Softly loosening any stiffness in the neck. Maybe eyes closed, keeping the focus inward, just enjoying the movement and enjoying the breath. Good. Bring your chin back to center. Fingertips under your cheekbones, and inhale, lift on up. Exhale. Release. Good. Take an inhale. Reach your right arm out. Roll your thumb down and wrap your hand behind your back towards your left thigh. Yeah. Good. Now sit up nice and tall. Take a big inhale. Exhale. Bring your left ear to your shoulder. You can move your head around a little forward, a little back. Explore the line of tension. If you want, you can even add a little bit of massage here. Massage out those lumps and bumps. Loosen up those shoulders. Nice. Release your chin. Release your hand. Inhale, reach that arm out and up. And this time, let's take just a gentle side bend. Keep plugging your right hip into the mat and just think long in the waist. Open the right armpit back slightly. Breathe more space into the ribs. Make more space for your lungs. And release. Exhale. Inhale, reach out and up. Turn your thumb down. Exhale, wrap that left arm around toward your right hip so your shoulder can really drop down. And then we'll take the right ear to the right shoulder. Oh, that feels nice. Feel free to wiggle your jaw and move your head. Take some deep breaths here. You can add some massage, a little extra self-care. And let everything in the neck and shoulders soften and loosen and lengthen. Good. Gently release. Lift your head back. Inhale, reach up and over. Square your hips to the chair. So it's just your torso coming over. So you're really breathing into the left side ribs. Draw the left armpit back. And breathe. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, release that arm. Now both arms up. Big inhale, gaze toward thumbs. Exhale, rotate to the right. Inhale, reach up. Draw your low belly in. Exhale, rotate left. Inhale to reach. Exhale, look back. One more side, inhale. And exhale. Good. And soften back to center. Let's take our knees a little bit wider. Feet out. Heels slightly in. Bring your hands to your thighs, and we'll start to roll through cat-cow. So inhale, lift your chin, your heart, draw your elbows back. Exhale, round. Tuck your chin, tuck your tail. Inhale, rock forward on the pelvis even, and open. Exhale, curl everything back in. Inhale, extend it all open again. So just keep flowing like this. Move with your breath. Okay, let's move into rib circles. So now we're going to round forward to the side, back to the side and forward. And imagine like your abdomen is a spoon and you're scraping all of the peanut butter out of the jar. And you can move nice and slow. Gently press your feet into the ground so you have a firm base. And we're just starting to warm up the core, getting more movement in the ribs. When you're ready, we'll take those circles in the other direction. Feel free to start slow too. You can make little circles and then work your way up to bigger and bigger circles, starting to exaggerate the movement. Maybe closing the eyes. Again, just enjoying the pleasure of moving and breathing, which I feel like is something we often take for granted until we have some issue with it. Let's come back up to neutral. Step your feet back to hip distance, and we'll move into our spinal balance flow. On your inhale, reach your right leg and your left arm forward, and exhale, release. Inhale, left leg, right arm, and release. Try to stay sitting up nice and tall so core is engaged. Inhale to reach and lengthen. Exhale, back to neutral. Let's take one more each side. Really reach through the heel. Good. Okay, we're going to hold the next side. So inhale, right leg, left arm, and breathe. Notice a tendency to hold the breath. Maybe that leg is shaking. Good. And release. Other side. Breathe. Shoulders relax, jaw relaxes. Maybe lift that leg a little higher. Whoa! And release. Okay, scoot yourself over towards the side of your chair. We'll take a top of the foot stretch. And just to open here. So we'll sweep our foot around and rest on the top of the foot. It can be helpful to slide a blanket underneath. Okay, so if you gently scoop your tailbone forward while you do this, you'll notice that you get a little bit of a stretch in your hip flexor and in your quad, so you can get the benefit of both. Okay, let's slide this leg back in. Scooch on over to the other side of your chair. Gently bring that left leg back, rest on the top of the foot. Lightly scoop your tailbone forward as you drop your knee towards the floor for a little bit of a stretch in these front hip muscles. And breathe. And let's gently come back up. Come back to the middle of your chair, nice and sturdy, and grab your blocks. Okay, let's sit forward in our chair slightly, sit up nice and tall. And if you don't have a block, just use anything that will help you engage your inner core line. We're going to just gently squeeze the block between our legs. And we're going to work on our chair squats so that we can keep building the strength of being able to get up and down. And one option first is to gently hold the bottom of the chair. Try to get the shins vertical. Make sure the toes are pointed forward. Low back. Lean forward. Press into your heels. Lift your hips. And release. So just a really gentle lift. Even if your hips don't lift, doing this action can help to engage the muscles that you'll be using. So same thing. You can just... like if you're leaning and you're pressing and nothing lifts, that's okay. You start there. Good. Once this is feeling pretty good, we can try reaching our arms forward and then lean forward, squeeze that block, lift, and slowly lower back down. Look towards the floor so you're not cranking your neck back. Press up, weight in the heels, squeeze the block, lower. Good. Press up. And we'll lower from here and set the block aside. Okay. Now we'll move on to our hips. We'll just start to gently open up the hips with our seated pigeon. So sitting up nice and tall, feet hip distance, we'll bring the right ankle to the left thigh. Necessarily available for everybody. So it can be helpful to stack blocks. Bring your foot up as if the blocks were your knee, or a stack of books. Don't feel like you have to have blocks. And let your knee fall open. Bring your hands gently to your hips, just so you can feel the movement of the pelvis. On your inhale, we'll rock forward. Lift the chin, open the heart, shoulders back. Exhale, tuck your tail, tuck your chin, pull your belly in. So cat-cow. Inhale, rock forward. Exhale, come back. Inhale forward. Exhale back. Nice. Inhale, come forward. And let's stay forward. You might rest your hands on your knees. Flex through that right foot. And just explore how far forward your pelvis will allow you to fold, and really breathe into that right hip. Soft shoulders, lots of breath. Nice. Rise up, inhale. We'll just let this knee have a little bit more time in this seated position. Bring your left palm up, face up towards the ceiling, and grab your fingers, pull them down. And a nice finger stretch all the way up to the forearm and elbow stretch. And we give that hip some time to open. Nice, gently release. Thumb in position, hitchhiker. Hold around the thumb, and we'll pull back on the thumb without bending the wrist back. Little thumb stretch. Nice. And let's release that hand out. And we'll gently step that right foot back. Take your knees nice and wide. Slide your hands down your thighs and lean against your knees. Your elbows can be bent if you need. We'll drop the right shoulder down and look up past the left shoulder. We're twisting. Come back to center. Let's try that on the other side. Drop the left shoulder down. Twist to the right. A little left knee away from you is helpful. Nice. Rise back up. And let's move to our left side pigeon. So bring the legs back in a little bit closer. either left ankle to right thigh, or some height, a stool, blocks, books, whatever in front of you, so that you can get into a pigeon that's safe for your body. And you'll know it's safe because you can keep your sits bones equally connected on the mat. You don't have one side twisting versus another to try to hoist your ankle up. And we'll move into our cat-cow. So we'll start by bringing our hands to our hips so you can feel your pelvis. Inhale to rock forward. Exhale, curl back. Hip bones come forward, tailbone reaches back. Inhale. Exhale, curl the tailbone forward, pull those front hip bones back. So you're rocking forward and back on the pelvis and really noticing how that changes the sensation in the left hip. Plus we get some nice spinal movement. Okay, let's rock forward and we'll stay there. Come to your max. Maybe rest your hands on your knees lightly for support. You have to kind of use your core to hold yourself up a little so you don't dump down too much. How's that left side feel? Breathe. All right, let's inhale. Bring the torso back to neutral. Right palm faces the ceiling. Hold on at the thumbs. Pull the fingers down. We'll take that finger stretch. Undo some of the computering and the texting and the other crazy things we do with our fingers. My mom just recently told me she has some arthritis happening in her fingers, and so I just showed her these stretches, and she was so excited. She's going to add some finger and thumb yoga to her practice. Okay, let's do hitchhiker thumb, and we'll gently pull back. My mom's birthday was yesterday, and she is 59. I'm like, how you be a great grandma and you're not even 60 yet? Seriously, right? Nice, and release. Okay, let's step that leg back out again. Take it nice and wide. We'll do another round of our thigh opener twist. So see if you can lean against your knees maybe. It's okay if the ears come up or the shoulders come up towards the ears for you to do that. And then drop the right shoulder down, look up. Come back to center. Drop that left shoulder down. Good. And gently rise back up. Okay, let's set our blocks aside if we've got them. And we'll grab our golf ball or just any small object, and we'll move to that portion. Okay, so I've got my golf ball here. We're going to do our foot massage, and you can do this seated or standing. Today, we'll do it standing. But you want to imagine the golf ball is like the vacuum, and you're going to vacuum the floor, and you don't want to miss any spots. So you want to roll this all the way around the foot, the toes, the ball of the foot, the heel, the outside edges, the arches, and you can load onto it. The more you load your weight onto it, the more intense of a massage you'll get. And feel free to slow down any tender spots and work them. And definitely standing will give you more intensity. But this is really great for mobilizing all of the parts of the feet that just don't get mobilized often enough when we're wearing shoes. And especially if we're working on our gait and our walking stability, this is a really important part of the equation, being mobile in the feet. And it just feels so good, or hurts so good, one of the two. You can switch sides whenever you're ready. I find that there's like always one foot that's a little more tender than the other, and that's the one you might want to spend a little more time on. All of the parts of the feet want a little attention. They're just screaming for attention. When you feel like you've had equal time, or however much time you need on this side, then we'll roll the ball away. And we'll give the feet a little bit of a break and move upward towards the ankles. So we're sitting up nice and tall. Lift your right foot, and to lift your right foot, you can be light in your left foot, so you have to use your leg more. And then we're just going to take some big old ankle rolls that feel nice with this leg partially lifted. Good. Now slide your hands around the back of your thigh, interlace your fingers, so you can kind of lean back against it, and then just bounce your knee. We'll move up to the knees now. And you can draw circles with your foot. Circle the other direction. And then hold your thigh with your leg and use your wrists to rock the leg side to side. And this should feel good in the hip, because you're just kind of loosening up that femur bone where it rests in the socket. And then let's come back to neutral. So we'll take a little flow here. As you inhale, we'll straighten the leg as much as it will go. Straighten the hands, reach through the heel. Exhale, squeeze everything back in, bend the elbows. Inhale to straighten. Exhale, draw it in. Straighten. Pull it in. And release. Good. Now we'll lift that left foot and roll out the ankle. Both directions. Nice, and wrap those arms, those hands around the back of the thigh, and then just let the knee bounce. Let the knee soften and loosen. Just let them give up their burden for a minute. And then we'll take circles. Circle in the other direction. And then let the leg relax. Use your arms and hands to rock it side to side. That just feels so nice. Okay, back to neutral. We'll bend and straighten. So inhale, reach through the heel, straighten the arms, the leg. Exhale, draw it in. And this will stretch the hamstring a little bit. Inhale to straighten. Reach. Exhale, pull it in. Bringing the thigh towards the torso. Inhale. And exhale. I think we have one more. We'll take one more. Exhale. And release. Good. Give those legs a rest. Let's move upwards again. This time we'll come to the hands. Make a soft fist. And imagine like you have diamonds on your wrists and you don't want the diamond to fall. So you're just moving the hands relative to the forearms rather than compensating with the forearms. And take it in both directions. Good. Now flip your palms up. Reach. Shoulders relax. Tap your fingers to your shoulders. Exhale. Inhale. Reach. Exhale. Tap. Inhale. Reach. Exhale. Tap and stay. We'll drop our elbows together. Inhale. Roll up and back. Exhale. Down and forward. So imagine like you have pencils on your elbows and you're drawing big old circles out to the side. Shoulder circling. Let's try it in the opposite direction. And relax. Take a breath. just check in with you. See how you're feeling. Notice how the body's feeling. Maybe a little looser, a little more mobile. And then we'll move into our deepest twists before we move on to some stretches. Okay, so we're going to grab our blocks. And we'll start by bringing our legs over to the right side of the chair. Try to get vertical shins so you have 90 degrees at your hips, at your knees, and lightly squeeze the blocks. That'll help prevent the hips from twisting. Take an inhale, reach and lengthen. Exhale, we'll rotate to the back and hold the chair. Drop, relax. Inhale to lengthen, and then use the push-pull of the chair to twist. You're still squeezing that block. And we'll release. Sweep your knees around to the other side. Find that good alignment. Good. Take an inhale, reach up, lengthen. Hold on to the chair. Breathe in, long spine. Exhale, rotate, look back. Low ribs, pull in. Try to really yield in the waist. The torso is really rotating here. Lightly squeeze that block. And gently release. Come back to center. Okay, we will move on to some leg and hip stretches using our second chair, so we'll come to that point. Okay, we'll use two chairs facing each other. If your chair has a hard surface, then it can be helpful to put a little pillow or a blanket to soften things up. We'll move through some leg stretches now. So we'll start with our right side. We're going to bring our right leg up onto the chair. If you can, bring your foot to the back of the chair. That will help keep it in a flexed position. Now, option to use a strap or a tie or something to help you. But we're going to step our left foot and ground it firmly. Hip bones will press. Inhale. We'll have this strong base. And then we're going to rock forward on the pelvis. And we might hold the bottom of the chair. We might hold the back of the chair. We might have a strap. Or we might just rest our hands on our shins. So we're finding some safe forward fold and really breathing into the hamstring. Imagine your tailbone is reaching back and those hip bones are tipping forward, just like in that cat-cow exercise we did. And maybe take another breath or two to really acclimate here and see if you can find your deepest place. Keeping a nice long and straight spine and soft shoulders and soft jaw. Nice. Gently rise up. Now we're going to bend the right leg. Maybe slide your chair in a little closer. And we're going to make this little half diamond shape with the leg. So we're getting into the hip again. Same thing here. We want to inhale, lengthen, press down, up, and then we'll exhale, fold, flex through that right foot. And you can use the bottom of the chair, the back of the chair, none of the chair. Just really breathe some space into that right hip here. This is a pigeon variation. And using two chairs like this can be really helpful for getting into some of these stretches that are typically done seated on a floor if you are not feeling like getting on the floor today, or if you're working towards getting on the floor next year. So each exhale is a great opportunity to just soften a little bit more. We're not forcing anything. We're just going to our boundary, go right to the edge, and breathe. Sometimes we grip and hold tension in the body, and that can make it more difficult. And rise up. Let's gently release that leg. We're going to turn the chair we're sitting in forward and have a caretaker help you adjust the chairs as much as you need, or, use it as a strengthening exercise for yourself. We're going to bring that right leg back up. But now we have the leg wide in a half straddle position, and the more intense this will be. So we're going to reach our hand towards the right foot and inhale up and over. So we're getting into a nice side stretch again. Nice. Inhale, rise up. Plant your forearm to your thigh and then reach up and over. So a little side angle modification. Yeah, and really press the forearm into the thigh. Good. Inhale up. Now we're going to fold just a little, and you can just rest your hands lightly and bend your elbows. You could bring your stack of blocks here to put your hands on. Eventually, one day, you'll even tap your hands to the floor. Good. Let's slowly rise up one hand at a time. And we'll release this leg. Shake them out. And let's set up again for that same round of stretches on the other side. All right. Hoist that left leg up. Again, we want to tip those hip bones, those front hip bones down. If they're not tipping at all, you can always elevate your hips higher or use a strap, and you don't have to fold at all. Take an inhale, reach those arms up. We'll dive. You might use the chair for leverage. You might bring your foot to the back of the chair. That brings the stretch down to the calf, the Achilles. Maybe close your eyes and just focus on what the sensation feels like, breathing. I always like to add a little massage. Loosen up the belly of that muscle. Good. Rise up on your inhale. We'll bend that left leg. Slide the chair in a little bit closer. Find that half diamond shape here. Flex through that left foot. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Every hip is different. So move nice and slow. Feel free to take some little half neck circles if that helps you relax into the position a little bit more. Belly is still just lightly engaged. And soften with each exhale. Nice. Rise up. And gently release. So we'll start to work our way into that straddle position on the left side. So make sure you're stretching the other leg. You don't necessarily have to be mirroring me. But get that leg up there, and then we'll open this knee. Good. We're going to start with the side stretch. So slide your hand down towards your left toes. They can be on the shin or the thigh, and then we'll reach up and over. Yeah. It doesn't have to be very far. Try to keep both sits bones connected. Feel that waist stretch. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, right forearm to thigh. Inhale, left arm up and over. Really press down with your forearm. So there's some action there. Nice, rise up. And then we'll take our fold. I'm just going to demo this with what it might look like with some blocks for support. So same thing here. You want to inhale, get some length. Exhale, you'll fold and find a place of support with your hands. They can just be resting on your shin and your thigh if you like. Yeah. Breathe into that inner thigh. Also the option to add a little massage on the inner thigh too. Use your fingertip and massage out those lymph nodes, those little tender spots. Good. We'll slowly rise up. One hand at a time. Press into your feet. And we'll gently release back down. Shake out those legs. We went all through the body. Let's come back to where we started. Just a nice, stable, sturdy, seated position. And then close your eyes and imagine like you have a pencil reaching through the crown of the head towards the ceiling. And we're going to just draw little circles. Nothing too big. We don't want to crank the neck back. Notice how this feels with the eyes closed. Sometimes this can make you feel a little dizzy. So go nice and slow and let your brain acclimate and adjust. Let's try those circles in the opposite direction. Soft and gentle. Full breath. And rest your head. So balancing above the shoulders, get soft in your elbows. Starting with the right side, lift your shoulder up to your ear, drop your left shoulder down, and then draw your right shoulder back as you bring your left shoulder forward. And then we'll take that opposite action. So we're drawing figure eights, and you can let your arms and elbows slide, noticing how the action of one shoulder informs the action of the other. Go nice and slow. It can be a little bit of a brain workout at first. And then let's take it in the opposite direction, so forward circles this time. Nice. And come to rest. All right. We're going to bring our chairs in front of us. Okay. So with a chair in front of us now, we're going to bring both legs up, soles of the feet together. And you want now a full diamond shape here. We're going to take a rounded fold forward to stretch the back. Hopefully we can find that spot. Now you have a couple of options here. You can use the chair if you want. We're going to round the forehead down towards the heels. You could wrap your forearms under your shins if that's available for you and grab your feet or grab the chair and use that for leverage, your shins on top of your forearms. So you're in some sort of position. Imagine kind of like somebody punched you in the belly and you're going to round down like that. Now really use the breath here. So send the breath into the back to wherever you need to feel the stretch most. Nice. Slowly, gently come out. Slide that chair in a little closer. Lean back, put a pillow or a cushion back behind you if you need. We'll rest in Supta Baddha Konasana. So knees just fall open here. Hands wherever it's comfortable. Let your shoulders soften and your eyes close. Maybe cover yourself up with a blanket. That can be nice. And take a moment to scan through your body from the crown of your head all the way down to your toes. Notice if there are any places with tension in the neck, the shoulders, the low back. See if you can send the breath to those places to breathe more space for them, more softness, more support. Let yourself be held by the chairs, so really just relax and trust into the support beneath you. Let your skin get really loose all around the body, even your cheeks hollow, your eyes soft, resting in their sockets. And you can stay in this relaxing, restorative posture for as long as you like.